So, all good afternoon. Welcome to the session. Kindly wait for 2 more minutes so that everyone can gather here. Thank you. Good afternoon. Welcome to the session. Kindly wait for 2 more minutes so that everyone can gather here. So, good evening. Thank you for everyone who are gathered here for the session. And we are from BCBUZZ Technologies. So today we are going to walk on the path of what is firewall, what is IDS, what is IPS, and why we need network security is all. So and we are going to see how these all going to protect our networks. So my name is Deepika. I am from BCBUZZ Technologies. Sorry, I am a cybersecurity consultant and a trainer. Okay. Today we are going to talk about the topics what is firewalls and what is IDS and what is IPS and how these things are essential for the technologies that is going to protect our internet and evolve all cyber threats. So what is network security? So as you see the slide, it says the topic of what is firewall, what is IDS, what is IPS. Then why the first slide is going to talk about network security? Just we are going to walk through the path what is network and why the network should be protected or why we need securities or like firewalls and protections or so network security is just not only protecting the whole network process. It is like protecting of our systems, our data, which is transferring or which is going and coming through all over the internet. Where networks is a basic thing when you want to send something or when you want to receive something or you want to gather some information or so many things. So when we have the door locked, when we have the responsibility of locking the door, or when we have the assurance that our door is locked and we know that only we know the password, not the other persons who was not able to get into the door. So then we'll be with assure and we'll be go for a trips, we'll go for some other places to enjoy. So that is where we need all the protections to protect our network so that we will be with assurance that our data are not leaking or our company's informations or sensitive data are not going anywhere, so that we'll be have the reassurance, right? So while we are log off by 6 p.m. and we are going to the home, we have the assurance that we have we have shut down our computer properly, we have off the switches and routers so that no one will get into the company and gather our information. So that assurance where all the network security gives us, and it is a foundation of modern IT infrastructures also. So when you are building a basic infrastructure, we have the responsibility to build a foundation for securing the internet. So these assurance or these network protocols are assigned by only the authorized users, not as someone who who stands in the reception or who stands in the place of guiding someone. These assurance should be given by the authorized user. So as of if you're going to study about network security, don't we have some fundamental principle? And the fundamental principle is CIA threats. Someone who is into security field, they will be very familiar with the CIA threats. That nothing but a confidentiality, integrity, and availability. Confidentiality is nothing but protecting your sensitive data. So someone who is not have the access or someone who is from unauthorized access, they don't able to get the data of the sensitive information. Integrity is like someone who have the access. If they are going to home after closing their windows, and they have the assurance that no animals or no one can get into the home, so the assurance will be given by the integrity part. And the availability part is, and we are if we are locking a door and we want someone to watch over the whole house, and that is where that is the person who stand in front of the gate, he's the only one who has the access. So that is where the availability, so where the confidentiality, integrity, and availability paves a great way, so the network will be on a secure part. So these principles are like a basic principle, and these will be the whole process which provides the whole authentications, or someone like in a digital locker or something like in a guards who stand in front of a gate. So that's why first page of the whole process is introduction to network security. So they will come to know what are the security process we are going to take, or how these things what we are going to see today are giving protections to the network. The next one is the digital battlefield. What is digital battlefield? We have learned so many battlefield histories in our history books and our social pages. And that is says about how how warriors and how the freedom fighters bought us the freedom, bought us a security. And even our army men who are standing in the border gives the assurance that we are going to live, we are going to bed, and we are really going to wake up the next morning without any fear of or any other something which like terrorists will come and kill us. Nothing will be nothing will be thinking, and we'll be very reassured that our soldier men and women are going to protect us. So that is what we learned about battlefield. But what about the current scenario? What about the current situation? We are only fearing about the battlefield which is happening in the borders, or which is happening inside something in our state borders or country borders? No, now we are more fear than the borders. That is where the digital battlefield. So only when we are protected our network, when we are protecting our data, it is now one of the most dangerous thing happens. So according to the 2025 cybercrime report, there are $6 trillion data being leaked, where global level 6 trillion. Do you think 6 trillion is very lesser number or very common number nowadays? No, 6 trillion data, how much it cost, how much data it could have cost. So that is where we are going to get fear, how we are going to protect our data from the whole digital process. We don't know who are the scammers, who are the persons who are getting our data, who are we even don't know the person who is sitting next in our bus will be safe person, or he is not responsible for the data's breaching. No, we can't believe even someone who is very close to us. So that is where we should be very reassured that we are going to protect our data. And how we are going to protect the data, how the organization is going to protect, and how they are going to give us the reassurance that you are okay, your data are very safe. Whereas nowadays the banks are giving a reassurance that your gold or money will be safe with us, so that you don't want to worry about, or you don't want to keep some police guards to stand in the bank. So that is how the defense layer in our network is going to give it. So there are three comprehensive layers that is going to protect our data. One is firewalls, the IDS and IPS. I am going to give you an abbreviation of IDS and IPS with the upcoming slides. So how these are going to protect our data? By 24/7, which is a constant. They are not going to take any rest. They are not going for any vacation leaves. They are not going for any other leaves for their family functions extra. So they are going to protect our data 24/7. These cyber threats are daily demanding every sensitive data to be leaked, or they are demanding our responsibilities or possibility of protecting our data. So we are going to walk through it. So why network protections is critical? We have seen that we are going to give layers of protections. We are seeing how the data has been. So what it is really critical, we don't know the person who is going and get to our data. We don't know the persons who was gathering our data. So that is where preventing from an unauthorized access. If a person who does not have an access, if they are going to enter into a network, our tools, our governments are responsible to block them or to restrict them from you are from unauthorized access. You can't enter into a machine, or you can't date all, you can't see all data, you can't steal something. So that is where our guards are going to work. Second one is protect sensitive informations. So if you are blocking someone from, if I am the person who is in the network layer and I fail to protect someone from an unauthorized access, what will happen? They will be stealing all sensitive data of my company, or it may be someone, an individual. If I fail to on a firewall, then what will be the person who gets into my computer? He steals all my photos, all my details of a even if I kept my marriage photos in it, and he can take everything, right? So he takes all sensitive information. So that's why we want to protect our sensitive informations. Third one is ensure regulatory compliance. So we have ton and tons of frameworks, that is of ISOs, GDPR, so many legal requirements to protect our data, or to have some sensitive informations to protect someone's data. So they have the huge competitive, they have the huge frameworks for each and every stages, or each and every, if the information is too sensitive, they have some more sensitive protection. If the information is okay and they don't want that to also to be breached, so they have some kinds of frameworks to protect. So that is why it is very critical to, we don't know who is going to come and get, so we don't know who's the unauthorized access come. The second one is we don't know how the sensitive informations are periodized. If the information is more periodized, is if we kept openly in the PC, and it will be not able to understand the person who took it. The third one is regulatory complaints. If a company, they are not following a regulatory complaint, and we don't know that the company is not following that, but we gave our sensitive information to them to store in their organization, in their breaching tables, everything. But so that is why it is very critical. We don't know what is happening inside and outside of a network, so we will be very corner place, so that we don't know how critical our data is going to play the thing. The next one is common network threats. So we have talked about what are the things have network doing, how the networks are basic fundamentals, and we have seen through what are the things, what is the critical part from protecting everything. So now we are going to see what are the common things. There are ton and tons of network breaches, but we are going to talk about the four most and basic. Even it had if you take the records of these four things, there are very minimal sensitive, there are more sensitive data have been. So understanding the landscape, how the essential for building an effective company. We want to give some defense, right? So how we are believing our military men, they are defending the whole country by standing on the border. So if you want to defend something from an unauthorized access, we want to know what is the landscape, how it's going to take, and how. So we want to open up with all the ways, all the threats, all the attacks. So the first common network attack is malware and ransom. So ransom is nothing but they take all your files, and they have some private and public keys, and they will be have some encryption decryption keys, and they will demand you money. So that is where ransom occurs. So they will be decrypt all your files, and they will ask money for encryption. So for the malware is, we don't know, we are getting a pen drive or something disk from our friend who having a malware in it, and we don't know that he is going to blackmail us. We'll be just getting that, and we'll be plug into our computer, plug into our organizations, because we will be like, he's my friend, he will never harm us. We don't know anything regarding him, but just how the malicious software is going to act, how it's going to steal all data. Even if he is not getting benefit from me, and I am not giving any money, but he will get somewhere of benefits from that information he is taking from me. Second thing is phishing and social engineering. Phishing is nothing but it will be look like a very original file. It will be looking like, yes, it is originally from the top MNC company, I am going to apply for this role. Or they will be sending a phishing mail like that, we are from this company, this ABC company, and you apply for this, you give money, you give money and register for this form, you will get a certificate to your home, or guarantee you will get some protection or guarantee. Even there are more number of job scams going on now, and in also in past days. So these all occurred on the basis of phishing. The third one is DOS and brute force. How these things, how the phishing malwares are all coming from the out of the like on a physical things, a physical device, or from some mail IDs or some informations we have leaked already. But what about the DDoS and brute force? They are they are maximally from the network region, where the unauthorized access can give a traffic network, giving a traffic scams or traffic engines to stop our network control, or they will bypass through our network and they get our informations, they get our password. They will be brute force attack will be start to give repeatedly attempting passwords, and if they gain the correct password and their access, they will be getting into our application and they get every details about it. What about the man in the middle attack? They will do does not harm anything, they will not steal anything, they will not take any information from you, but they will be in the middle of your conversation of yours and your client, and they will hear everything what you're speaking with the client, like what subject you're going to take. If you are a teacher and a student, and then the man in the middle of attack is in a some third student, and you will be here, the third student who is in middle of the middle between a conversation of a teacher and a student, and he will be hearing all the important questions what the teacher is saying to the his favorite student, so that he will be prepared with the question paper and he will score the more marks. If it is in a question paper, it is also a fault. But what about a client and a company is speaking, and he comes to know what are the projects the client is suffering, and he comes to know what is the amount of money the company is going to get from this client. So every information the man in the middle attack gains. And if he sells the information to the another company which is an opponent, which is an competitive for the client which you are going to work, and what will happen, both the company and the client will be rapidly lose everything what they are going to talk to. So these are the common network threats, and these are the attacks which is most common nowadays. So now till this slide we have seen through what are the things network securities happen. Now we are getting into the protection field, we are getting into the hero topic today. So what is firewall? And the very simplest term we use in a profession of a security field, that is networks gatekeeper. We know what is a gatekeeper. In a college, a gatekeeper, what does he check? He checks each and every person's ID card before he entering into the college gate. Why he is checking? He make assurance that he is from this college and he is getting into the college to get some knowledge, to gain some studies. So he reassures. The same thing the firewall does. Firewall is like a first line defense, a person who stands in front of a network before entering into a computer, or a network data packet which is entering into a computer. He will be just stop the network packet, he checks the whole the process, he checks from the A to Z, and then he reassures that computer that this packet, this data which is transferring inside you is a very good one. It is from a source, it is from the client, it is very from the authorized access. So it checks for all the source address, destination, ports, everything, every split second decisions it will be take before it allows into a computer. So what are the functions of the firewall? What does a firewall really does? It blocks and allows data packets based on the security. As I mentioned, it checks all the security policies of the content which is going to come for us, which a computer is going to receive. Then it creates a protective parameters, like if the what the data packets comes inside is to deliver SMS. After delivering SMS, it should go back to the client. So what does it gives? It gives a duration, it gives a timeline, that the if it is a 30 minutes, only 30 minutes the data packet can be available inside the PC, so that he gives some protective parameter. Logs traffic pattern. So as of some companies, or not some companies, more than 95% of the companies, they have some teams to check all the logs. So it gives the logs. So the firewall gives the log to the security department that this packet has entered into the computer by this time, and it will be go back within this time. So this log traffic will help the security team to go through all the process what is going. And also, after giving the log, what does the firewall does? It enforces the access control. It walks through the policy consistent. So that is how it works. So what are the types, or a defined way the firewall works? The first one is software firewall, which will be installed or will be purchasing for the duration of 1 year, 3 years, and 4 years. So even now, the persons who we are using a computer, laptops, we have some firewalls, right? So that is where the software firewall comes. What about the hardware firewall? firewalls. It is like a physical appliance. It will be using in the large parameter organization. They have some wired firewall connections so that they connect to your computers, and they will have the whole monitoring all log process throughout the network sector. The next one is what we are looking forward for the advanced generation firewalls. They will be like, they have the intentions of two things: maintaining the networks, the second one. The first one is threat detection. Before they allowing the data packets, they fully scan the threat annexations. They will be go through the whole process, and they will be walk through the threat detection process also. So that is where these firewalls work. So we have seen how the firewalls will work, and we are going to see about what are the types of firewall. The first one is packet filtering. As I mentioned in the first thing, that is firewalls filters the packet and checks with the packet where they are from. So the first firewall is packet filtering firewall, the most basic type, which inspects the source, destination, IPs, protocol numbers, why they are coming, is they have any backlogs of they been blocked in any other company, or either this packet was received by our company in previous or in a past. So everything, as much as it can check throughout the packet, it checks. That is where the packet filtering works. The second one is stateful inspection. We know what is inspection. Inspection is nothing but we will be checking what are the things they have, what are they going to deliver, and what is the process. So what is a stateful inspection? It is like a tracking. So if actively the packet is going to work for some other, if you are going to download a tool and the packet is going to work for the tool, then it goes and check with all the backdoors of the tool and how the whole tools are going to work with the firewall. So all inspections will be going through. The third one is proxy firewall. Proxy firewall is like it is like an inspector who works in a police station. He will be have some instructions, and he has some protocols which he want to deliver to the sub persons who are working under his control. So before he gives some protocols, he has to receive some informations or some protocols from higher officials to them, higher official to him. So then only he have the respective rights to give to everyone. So that is where the proxy firewall works. It will be like an intermediate between the user and the network. It stands in the middle. The inspector will be stands in the middle, where is it, he receives protocols from IG or DSP. Then the inspector will give the instructions to the subordinates who works under him. So that is what the proxy firewall does. The fourth one is next generation. As we saw, the last type of software, hardware, and the next gen is like they have the advanced capability. They will be give features like they have intrusion prevention. What is an IDS IPS works? It will be works under the process of firewall. Second one is application awareness. It not only it scans the packets what is coming, but also gives the awareness that if the packet acts indifferent, or if the packet acts is opposite to what it had been, we have some awareness tips. The third one is deep packet inspection. Even the packet was approved from the client, even the packet is approved from what we are going to use, it have the deep. This next generation firewall never listens to anyone. He just go through all the process, he goes to all the steps, he goes to depth of the steps, and he will now when this firewall gets an assurance that this is not an unauthorized access, it is from the accessible person, then only it allows the packets to get into them. The fourth one is the very important is threat intelligence induction. Nothing but if the packet is very clear, it is very clean, and it's going to work on under the tool, but also this firewall will be go through the every integration that it does not going to create any threat, or if the threat has been occurred by the by the data packet, it have some intelligence, it have some awareness to stop the thing, and it clear at the instance of the whole process. So these are the types of the firewall. So we have seen what is firewall, how the firewall works, and how what are the types of firewall. So how it really works. First one is packet inspection. As you seen this one, you see there are more than two firewalls have the responsibility of scanning as packet. So that is where the first step works. Packet inspection. It inspect every not only it inspects the incoming packet, it also inspect the outgoing packet. It checks whether the packet which is going outside have done all the things, all the protocols have been followed. So it even checks the outgoing network packets and the headers and the payloads, everything it will be analyzing. The second rule is rule application, where the applies it is like an limited traffic. So they, if some suspicious activity or some other malicious activity is occurring, immediately the firewall gets into the middle of the way and it stops, and it will be like this application does not allow these access. So that is where the rule application follows. Working way is activity logging. It is, as I mentioned, the security team needs a log that what are the packets is getting in, what are the packets are getting out. So every log analysis will be taken care by the firewall. So this is the major three workable done by the firewall. So here comes the second hero, that is intrusion detection system, the silent watcher. What is we called the firewall? We call the firewall as a gatekeeper. Then what is the detection system is called? The silent watcher. He will be like stand in the middle of the firewall and he sees all the things what the packet does, or how the network is going in, how the network is coming out, what are the things that the whole thing. It be like standing design. It is like a movie director. He will never show his face in the movie, but stands behind the camera and rules the whole movie. The success and the failure of a movie, it's completely depend on the person who is directing. The same thing happens for this thing. The first one is passive monitoring. So as we know, the passive monitoring is like that the whole detection system will detect the traffic networks, how the data is going. The detection system have some data flow. So that is where this passive monitoring will. So when we have some, if we are going to build a home, what we have, the first thing in our hand is blueprint. So how home is going to look, how we are going to build our dream house, so many things. So that is how this passive monitoring, they have some data flow and they will be checking the whole process. Does the tool or does the packet which came inside as working to very similar to the data flow. Second one is recognition. If something is getting in, I mean, if the tool is going to work under the sub coordinates, and it this intrusion detection system will be like they find. Excuse me. Sorry. So the pattern recognition is like they checks the suspicious behavior. So the tool have some data flow, right? They should first follow the A, then go to the B, then go to the C. So what if the suspicious act is getting in, and that does the suspicious activity like jumping from A to D, D to F. So they don't follow any order. That time the detection system detects some suspicious activity and they raise complaint, or they will be given some subordinates or protocols to stop the process. So that is where the detection system. The third one is alert generation. If as I mentioned in the pattern recognition, if it comes to know that some suspicious behavior or some malware has been injected by through a data packets or through some network connections, that they have the rights to create an alert, or they can give the alert to the persons who are going under the security segmentations. Fourth one is out of bound placement. It is like if we are having a network operations, we are going to transfer more than 400 to 500 files through a network, and we are sending a large data packets. There it comes the out of bound placements. They will be like the IDS will be in the position of an, if you are going to draw a tree structure, we have a major one on the top and we have sub trees on the base. So this IDS will be sit in the place of out of bound, and they will be watching the whole process. If the something is suspicious or something which is going out of the way, and there comes the detection scene, they will be going and start to detect what has happened. So if you want some real time is that if the protocols or if the tool or if some scannings they find any unknown IP address, they will be first they give this IP address to an alert session and they start to generate an alert. Then what will happen, then the whole investigation department will come and start to have a potential recognize nothing, but they start to gather the informations, where it comes from and who gives the protocols to them and what is the backdoor for it. So that is where IDS. And the next topic is how the IDS monitors. So we have seen how firewall works. So how does IDS will not work? They will be like a secret watcher. So what are the things they monitor? The first one is traffic collection. They will be sensing the whole packets which we are capturing, and they start to dig what is the key points, what are the, where are it comes from, how, who's the sender, everything, every collections will be conducted. Second one is deep inspection. It is like if the data, if we know the data packets comes with the header, payloads, protocols, so everything will be deeply inspectioned by the IDS. So that is where the monitoring process comes. The third one is threat detection. If as I said, that unknown IP address was found, then it starts to generate an alert. So what if we found a malicious actor and something protocol which is different from the tool is found in the deep inspection? Immediately IDS starts to monitor. IDS starts to give the threat. IDS will starts to give the alert. They starts to they give the alert that this detection, that what or what we are going through will not will just, which is not a process. They will be like, okay, we want to stop this behavior, we want to stop this protocol, and we want to start from the whole process. We should give an alert to the whole network organization, everything. So this was the first thing the whole IDS will starts to do. They will be like sitting and monitoring, but they have all the backend works like giving alert, finding the things, or finding how to control this all malicious things or something which is not bound to the tools. The fourth one, which is a very important step, is alert generation. So immediately when they are even if it is in a false or a true, that is second part, but when they found some malicious or something which is abnormal activity, the second minute when they found, and the next minute, the second minute, they will give an alert. So that is how the IDS monitors the network. So if we are giving these IDS in an action, how the use case and compliance is come. So not only the first thing, they just start to find if there is any malware or ransom. Even the firewall does the same thing. The second one is like port scanning and information recognizes, information gathering. They starts to detect, or they starts to see what are the things happening, or how the whole process is going on. So everything. Next one is DOS attack. If they found something is distributed works or something, they are starting and some malicious activities going on, they will be like, okay, immediately we want to create we want to generate an alert, we want to create something which is to stop from this abnormal activity. Next one is insider threat detection. When the firewall or some detection system fail to find some abnormal activities or some irregular protocols, immediately it will be passed through the network and it will be get into the monitor, even an organization or maybe an individual computer. Once they get inside the thing and they start to show what they are come from and why they are doing thing, that is where the insider threat will happen. So the minute they find the insider threat detection, they will be giving they protects the data design. So data access pattern, they will be immediately close all the policies and they give the alerts, so that IDS will support the immediate alert generation, as we saw in the past 2 slides. So the IDS alert is like a centralized security information event. This is a SIEMs tool is very common in the SOC department. So this centralized security information event management works closely with the IDS department. So when they found something malicious or an abnormal protocols, immediately they starts an alert. Next hero is IPS, Intrusion Prevention System. As we saw who is gatekeeper, we saw the silent watcher. What is these both thing fail to do is, they will be not fail to do, they will be defend. But what the real defender, who we know all the soldiers will be standing, but the soldiers get the command from the commander. So that is where the active defender comes from. So unlike IDS, IPS are taken immediate action. So what is the IDS will detect? Once it detect, it gives the alert. That's it. But what is the IPS will do? IPS will be immediately they comes to an battlefield. They start to fire. They will be capturing all the persons who all the terrorists, who the person works behind everything. So that is where this IPS works. So IPS will be thing is very easy and very immediate work, active workers, like 3 things. One is real-time detection. One, they detect. Once they start detect, they immediately takes action. Then it comes with the threat prevention. So continuous analysis will happen. Once the continuous analysis we know, we comes to know which packet is abnormal, or which packet contains suspicious, or which IP should be blocked. Immediately they will be blocking. They will never go to someone and give some that we have some sorry suspicious IP, or they don't go and complain to inspector that this person has lost his person the bus. They immediately get into the action. They block the IP immediately. They erase the whole packets from the computer. They sanitize the whole monitor. They will be like they protects the whole organization from disconnecting the computer from the network. They see, it is like a person who stands in the gate. If the college person who is entering into the gate does not wear an ID card, just send him back. Nothing of going to a principal room, getting a signature, or going to calling your parents and asking access. Nothing. If you don't have ID card, just go back. The same thing will happen here. This IPS will be acts immediately as soon as possible. So that is the one of the most respectful act of this IPS. They are like an active defender. If something is wrong, they will be shooting. They don't ask for anyone's permission. If it is wrong, then you should get out. That is the rule of this. So as of an IP, it will be like an intercept and neutralize. It will be getting into the protocols and it will check, as well as it will be like neutralize. They will be standing in the middle, and if it is wrong, then it should be stopped at the place. It does not mean it the 50% process is over, the 60% of the tool is done, or nothing. If it is wrong at the place of IPS checking, then it should be stopped from there. That is what the IPS works. So we have seen how the IPS is going to, what the IPS does. So then how it is works. The first one is inline position. It will be checking the each and every traffic source and destination. If you are giving some tool, and if you have some access of a tool, it will be checking from all where it comes from, and after finishing all the things, where the packet is going. So it will be checking the inline positioning. Next one is deep packet inspection. We have seen this deep packet inspection in IDS also, in detection also. But in prevention, what is more specialization is, if the layer or if the network which the IDS found something is malicious, it will be start the detection. It not only gives the alert, it also gives the solution to how to overcome from all the malicious activity. Third one is automated response. They will be like, how this will be working. First generate alerts, then immediately the blocking the suspicious traffic, drop the malicious packet, and reset the connections. We have kept that. If I am working in an IPS, I come to know this if I'm going to get a pen and the pen is not working properly. When I remove all parts of the pen and I'm seeing there is no ink in the pen, what does an IDS will do? IDS will be go and give this pen back to the vendor who or she or buy, and he will get another pen. But what does an IPS, if I am an IPS, what do? I just throw this pen and take another from which is near to me, and I start to write. So immediate actions will be taken in the IPS. What is the conclusion of an IPS? Why does then, if the IPS does everything, then why we want the firewall and IDS? It is very easy. So in today's, we have a very large landscape of networking. So when we have if we are having a landscape of 20 kilometers of network, then we have 40 kilometers of threads. So that is where the detection fails. So each and every time, if an IPS starts to, if the IPS is stopping a malicious activity, then it is good. What if the IPS get misconfigured and it stops the real process, which is a good process, which is the most important thing want to happen? So that is where the IDS and the firewalls comes for. They will be like checking each and everything what you are going through. So that is why we want 3 activities to work. As we seen, the very most common things we want to use for a network security is firewall, IDS, then after the IPS. So I'm not saying the IDS is bad and they will be stopped everything. I'm saying in case of. So that is way. So the evolving threats, cyber attacks are increasing sophisticatedly. They are increasing more and more. If you are getting 2GB network and you have 4GB network of threats, so that's only we need everything. Next one is intelligent defense. So if IPS is provides automated, then what about the critical? What about the important task has to be done through something which should be stopped from the network. So that is where the intelligent defense will comes. The next one is future ready security. The persons who is in charge of an IPS, they are very essentially, and they are very more interested in investing of IPS technologies, because they can't wait for someone who finds a malicious and give alert, then giving the whole document to a company. We want someone who can find a malicious act and immediately starts to work for it. So that is why the future is ready to invest more in IPS technologies. The next one is what? Detection and prevention. The next slide you will be seeing about firewall detection and prevention. So here we are going to see something which is very small. So what is the detection and prevention from? Detection is like monitoring, analyzing. But what is the IPS does? It immediately works. It immediately blocks the malicious. Second one is if the detection system finds an malicious, they start to give an alert. What does the prevention system gives? Immediately they will give an mitigations. So that is what. So if you see, the detection is like a passive observation. But what about the prevention system? They will be enforce the security policies. They will be, if the detection system is observing something which is a failure side from the blocks, they will be go and complain to the security department. But what is the prevention system? They will start to give the security policies. They will, if we are doing some project and the first bench, the first four persons who are sitting in the first bench, they found that there is no chalk piece, and they will be go and say to the teacher that they don't have chalk piece. Then they will, when the teacher grants the permission, they will be go to the shop and buy the chalk piece. What is the the person who is sitting near the door, what does he does? When he comes to know there is no chalk piece, he will be run to the store, he will buy and come back and give to the teacher. So that is where this will. So passive observation mode, they will be sitting and observe, but the prevention will be they start to give the security policies. So that is the most common difference between the IPS and IDS. So here comes the three heroes definitions. That is, it is not totally different, but it's something which you can see that there will be 2 to 3 more things which is common in them. So if you take firewalls, they will the main function of them is like filtering the traffic and access control. What about the detection system? They will be like passively monitoring. They will be find if they will be go through the inspection of if there is a threat or not. But what is the prevention system? They also inspect, but they inspect with the policy control. They have some conclusion. If we detected this, immediately we want to. It is like if the house is getting the fire, then what the detection system will be do? They will be see the fire and they will call for an ambulance. But while going IPS, what they will be? They will be go with the what is it, fire engine. They will be go with the fire engine, and if there is fire, they immediately act. That is what happening. That is the function of this. So the position is like firewall is like an network boundaries. They are like an college or an office gatekeepers, but detection is like an analyzing traffic copies. NCC persons, the persons who is standing in charge of NCC, they will be, even if the person is close with the gatekeeper, and they will leave, okay, if you not bought ID card, today is excuse and you will get into. But what is the NCC? They will be write their names and they will be hand over the names to the class teacher. But what is the prevention system will do? They will be like, they will send back, you go to the home, bring your ID card, then you can get into the college. So that is what the position will be. So what is the firewall action? Firewall action is like block and allow based on a predefined rules. But the detection system is like they will be generate the alerts and send this to the security guards. But what does the prevention system will be? They will detect and they will immediately block the whole process. So the strength then is like firewall is like a first line defense. Detection is like a deep visibility, forensic persons. The prevention is like real-time protection. Immediately they will act. That is one of the strengths in the prevention system. So together making these three layers will protect the network more and more safeguards. So here comes the most thing, which is an extra slide to the session. It is like a network IDS, which is an NIDS, and the another one is host, network and the host. Network is like a wide visibility across the network system. You can see the all over the process which is occurring in the network. But in host is like deep visibility. The person who is hosting, they have the connections of end-to-end activities. They will be finding the A till the Z. So that is where the host will work. So I say what is network IDS and what is host. Network IDS is like monitoring a traffic. So if you have some if you're having a six floors of apartment, and the network is like six, you want to know each and every person who living in every floors. So that is where the network. But host is like they will having the examining file. They will know who are the persons living in the flat, but also they will gather all the information, what are the electronic gadgets they are using. If a person is using induction oven fridge all at a time, then the electricity will burst. So the host should know what are the behaviors, what are the activities, everything. So the network is like an a router, switches and gateways. So that is how this is get difference, this detection system is get difference. So an organization should have both NIDS and HIDS to comprehensively achieve the detection coverage, ensuring no blind spots will happen. So if the flat is getting fire, so the network will know how many persons living in the flat, and the host IDS will know what are the gadgets will cause more fire to the flat. So that is why we want both the things to find the network securities. So how we are going to put all those things, all our firewall, all our IDS, and see the first line detection layer and the active defense. So everything how we are going to in the real thing. So the firewall will be block all unauthorized access, where IDS will find all the unusual traffics, and how the encryption decryption data or ransom will be protected. And here comes the IPS, where it will be intercept the 0-day exploitations. Like if the attack is going to start some immediately blocking, if you are having some defender and the and the attack is going to stop that defender, then the IPS will coming in and it will be stop the attacker's work, and it will be stopping the all SQL injection attacks all. So this is how the real time acts. This is like an legacy challenges and modern challenges, how the past generation works, and how the now AI driven is working. It is like an false positive signature limitation and performance impact. How the modern solution works: machine learning, SIM integrations, cloud native. So we are going to see what are the things. So the first challenge of false positive is we don't know if we are getting some malicious complaint, and we don't know how the whole malicious activity will work. But what is the modern solution we have? So we have an AI which have more than 80 percentage of false positive. They if you the modern technologies, they don't know if this alert is coming, it is true or false. They don't know, they just want to go through all the inspection, they want to go the all forensic analysis. But what is today we have today, if we are going to give some name of a malicious act to an AI, and it will be show how it worked, how where it is generated, how it is generated, how the past years all worked for it, and what all the solutions was given to the problem. So now we have the 80 percentage of record, that how it acts. Signature limitations, we have how the if there is an ABC attack, and the modern technology have 10 to 40 pages of pages how the whole attack is going to take place. But what does a SIM integration do? They will be just like they give two options, like you centralize this thing, and you will know how what time it gets in and what time it gets out, so how it came from, so everything it will be given. So you don't want to learn the whole 10 pages or 20 pages of PDF. The third one is performance impact. If the malicious, I don't want to mention the malicious so many times. If you're getting some pen drive which it has a virus, and it was get injected into our computer, what is the our old generations or some past generation was gone through, they will know. They don't know what is the malicious virus it inside, and they will be removing the pen drive, and they will give to the analyst, and they never know that the virus is already inserted in the computer. But what is our thing will be do, they will be isolate the whole process, and they disconnect from the networks, and they comes with the solutions, they comes with the policies to how to secure this thing. So that is how, this is the three major things, how the legacy challenges and how the modern solutions are going to give for it. So that is what comes under the challenges and evaluation part. So how the future network productions will, already we have gone through the 80 percentage of records. So when we give some topic to an any AI, and they will be give the whole history, even it gives who created it, how they created, how mistakenly he created, how what are the things he had, so everything. So that is where AI powered prevention comes from. They identify an attack, they as we see that in IPS future generation is, they are going to create a very systematic future one. So this AI will gives you oh, you found this. If I found something and I am asking the AI that I found this error, is this going to happen anything to my computer? And it will be like, oh, you found this was found in this year, and these caused all this malfunctions or misfunctions to computers in the past these years, and you going to stop these all acts. So everything, I just asked it what is this, and it gave all the solution path, how I'm going through, and what are the things it has already taken from my computer. Everything it will be given. The next one is zero trust architecture. So there you can't blindly say that I created a very serious and security protocol. You can't say it, right? So that is where the zero trust architecture comes from. Next, third one is automated response. It is like, and they have ton and tons of tools where a human takes 10 hours to complete a work. It gives a platform of it reduces the whole response time. If you're giving some malicious thing, they give you the response. So that is where the automated response come. Next one is unified security. They have some endpoints, they have some cloud, so many things, and finds the defense whole protocols. They have some intelligence, they have some policies to follow everything. So this is how the future is going to work for whole defense layer. Here comes the conclusion. So conclusion is nothing but how we have gone through more than 15 slides. What is firewall, what is IDS, what is IPS, everything. So here comes a layered approach. So even after the conclusion we will be thinking IPS is best. No. So before IPS we want to before we plan to go for a trip, and we got all our parents, if we are studying in a college, we have permissions from our parents. But what does the HOD says is, no, you don't want to go for any trips. You want to sit and study for a semester, or you want to sit and study for your board exams, so many things. But how it works, first you should ask the permission from the HOD, then a principal, then only you should go for your parents, not just simply planning for yourself. So every layer approach is must. The second one is reduced attack surface. So if we have we know that if you are going for an I don't want to mention the college, if you're going for watching a movie and you took the ticket in your mobile phone, but you kept your mobile phone in your home, so now what you will be doing, you don't know what seat or what time you took anything, you don't know anything. If you go and say to the guard who stands in the theater, you will be simply saying, I took the ticket, I know the seat number. You can't say, you want to show the proof, right? So what you will be doing, you will be go to the checklist, you will give your phone number and you will logging in it. So then you will receive a paper that oh yeah, this person which is this number had already booked a ticket, then you show to the person. So that is why multi detection. So how it is, you have a phone number, you have the login credentials, so you know. The same thing, when a firewall finds the thing, then the IDS detects, then only IPS. So we need we need all three layers to follow a successful organization or successful breachable non-breachable organization. The third one is continuous improvement. Even if we have three layers, do you think the attackers will not find a way to break all the three things? No. So what we want to do, we want to continuously update the whole process. We want to continuously evolve with the technology. We want to go through the next step of the technology is what we are going through. So that is what the thing. So what will so the session here comes, what are the things you are going to take and how you are going to implement the whole thing in the next thing. That is where the multi-layered security strategy, even you are not going to start an organ, it may be in a future plan, but now when you have your mobile phone, when you have your laptops, PCs with you, start to have some multi-layer protections, multi-layer strategies to continue. So that is where, so your network realigns with, it depends on the foundation. You can't say, I'm not in an organization, why should I have firewall, why should I have, even you don't want a firewall, even you want a detection, you are not just keeping your mobile phone open. No, you have two layer factor authentications for your WhatsApp. You have two layer authentications for your mobile phone. You will be having a fingerprint, you will be having a FaceTime, everything. You have the protections. Like this should be applied for every tools what you having in your hand. So that this is how you will defend you from the digital war. So digital, we have seen digital battlefield in the first thing, right? So this is where I am mentioning that the nowadays everything you are sharing in the digital is like standing in the middle of the battle. So that is why you should protect your all things. What are the things you have now in your hand, what you will purchase from the future, everything. And this comes to an end. So today we have gone through a lot of pathways. What is the foundation, how it works, and how we are going to protect our data. So that is the end. So here comes my thank you part. Thank you everyone for joining this meeting. And it is our BCBUZZ company's WhatsApp group. You can join for all updations, all cybersecurity related informations, everything from this group. You can join here. And these are the websites, and we are there. We have so many subdomains to work for the cybersecurity fields. We have connecting a regular webinars and courses for the security related content, and for the future thing we have more courses for you all. Thank you.